Hi everyone. I found out that I have a webcam on my computer. um, it might not look that great. It looks a little fuzzy to me because it's really dark outside. It's nighttime and it doesn't really work that great with the lighting in my place. But I think I'm gonna give it a try and see how it works. But anyways, I've got actually a lot of requests, and I'm really excited about it. I've got to do a music video request for What Does the Fox Say, and that'll be a lot of fun. I've got to do a review for the movie Shrooms. I've got several TV shows: Justified, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, which is the only one on that list that I haven't seen yet, and so I'll definitely check that out. So a lot that I've got on my plate now, which is awesome. I'm going to, the first one that I'm going to do, though, is one that I don't even have to go back and watch again, because I know it so well, and it's the Avengers, and I love the Avengers. It was made in 2012, and it's got a whole lot of big names in it. It's got Jeremy Renner, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Hiddleston, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, and Samuel L. Jackson's in it as well. The Avengers it's based off of it's a Marvel comic, and the comic and the movie too, it's a bunch of different Marvel superheroes that are coming from their own world into this one to work together to stop. They all have to work together to stop a really bad guy, which is Loki, which is Thor's younger brother. He finds out that he was adopted. He's not really from where they're from, Asgard. He's an ice giant. He's a frost giant, and he goes a little crazy, gets a little upset about it, and makes kind of like this deal. Woo! It shook. He makes this deal with like this other alien race to pretty much just help them take over Earth. So Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye all had to work together to try and stop him. And it's really, I think it's really good. I've always been more on, I love Marvel stuff. I really enjoy it. I'm not a big DC fan, and I know it's like a really big debate, which is better, DC or Marvel. To me, I don't even think that really matters, because both comic things steal from each other and rip each other off and go over the top, and just, it doesn't matter which is better. Neither of them are perfect. They're comic books. But, I do enjoy Marvel more than DC. DC, I think, is a little more twisted, a little darker. And Marvel, I think, it's got some sad, messed up stuff to some of their comic book characters too, but I still think it stays on the lighter side of things more than DC does. But the movie, like I said, they all gotta get together and try and stop Loki from taking over the world. And, there's a lot of action in it, and of course Stan Lee makes his appearance in it, because he has to make an appearance in every Marvel movie. But I love this movie, I really do, and what makes it for me actually is the villain, Loki. And it's interesting because, from what I understand, that's almost everybody's opinion. Everybody loves Loki. He stole the show away. He's got very, I think I've mentioned this before, but I am 100% a villain supporter. Like, it's not all the time, but it almost is. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's sometimes it's like, they have this, like, dry wit about them, and it just, like, draws me in. Or sometimes they've got, like, a good reason for being bad. I don't know. All I know is that I've always loved the bad guys more than I've loved the good guys. Very few times have I actually looked at the villain and been like, wow, yeah, I hate that person. And actually, interesting, that usually happens in video games more than it ever happens in a TV show or a movie. TV show or movie, it's hard for me to really not want to root for the bad guy. They're more interesting, I think. Like, the hero of a movie, it's just, you're the good guy. You're gonna beat up the bad guy and you're gonna save the day. But the bad guy, you don't know what he's gonna do. He could, and especially if it's, established that he's totally crazy, you really don't know what he's gonna do. I love it. I like, the suspense, and it keeps things interesting. I've always been told you've got to have good and evil. You can't have just a good guy. You can't have just a bad guy, because what are you gonna do then? If there's no good guy to save the day, then the bad guy wins. And if there's no bad guy for the good guy to stop, then what makes him a good guy in the first place, So I think that's why I usually lean towards the bad guy. And in this case, in the Avengers, I think, if it weren't for Loki, there wouldn't be Avengers. He's what starts them this is the first Avengers film. He's what brings them all together and makes them have to work together. It wouldn't make sense for them to, they don't even get along. So, they need the bad guy to actually try and establish a real team in the first place. But, anyways, it's very good. Like I said, it's almost, I told you the whole plot right there. Loki's the bad guy, he wants to take over the world, the Avengers have to stop him. And it's good. If you don't like comic book things, you probably might still like the Avengers. It's not like you really have to even follow the comics to. In fact, I never saw Thor or the second Hulk. I don't know if the second Hulk is like a part of it. I know that I've seen one Hulk movie. I've never seen any of the Thors before I saw the Avengers. And I only saw I saw two. I saw two of the Iron Man movies, but I never seen any of the Captain Americas, and I can pretty much still follow the whole movie. So, I did go back and watch most of the other movies for the other characters that, had already been made prior to the Avengers, and it actually helped me understand even more. But I could pretty much follow the whole movie without having to see, the first Thor or any of the Captain Americas. So it keeps you in the loop pretty good, even if this was the first movie that you chose to get into comic books, it might pique your interest for them. So, there's that. I like that. I like that you don't have to be a big, super hyper person to enjoy a movie. It's good that it can keep your interest without having to go and read a comic first. I enjoy that. Especially when the comics get weird. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the comics anymore because I haven't read a whole lot of them. I have read a couple of Thor ones, and they're weird. They're very strange. And I read. Comics are bad. Not bad, you shouldn't read comics and they're not entertaining. It's just that there's so many different universes of them, different takes on them, from the same company. Marvel has so many different Spider-Mans and different Thors, and then some of them end, and they end really weird. And then you go back and you read the new one, and you're like, oh, how can they have that when they just ended this one? Different universe altogether. That never happened in this one. But anyways, the movie itself is good. It's not flawless, but it has really good humor to it, and I think that's cool because it's not just all action, it's not just all drama. It's got some points that make you laugh too. It's got a pretty good balanced out element of all the feelings. So that's always good to have a good thing. Can I help you? Sorry about that. Anyways, good movie. Funny movie. There's a sound, like I said, it might make you laugh and cry and angry. It made me laugh and cry. I didn't get really angry, but, I'm not a big comic book buff. So, no, there's not a lot I can say about it. The other thing is that, I mean, Marvel is pretty simple to explain the plot of in anything. I do really enjoy it, though. It's really good. Like I said, it's not like a flawless film. It's, it's a Marvel movie. And it's very good. It's got good... what I do like, another thing I'll say I like, compared to comic books and stuff, is that a lot of movies based off of comics, they'll change the costumes up. Because a lot of comic book costumes are weird and funny, and movie makers are like, oh, well, nobody's going to want to watch something when somebody's walking around with deer antlers on their head through the whole thing. Avengers doesn't care. Anyways, check it out. I've pretty much just rambled my way through this, but I wanted to get it done because I know the movie, like, inside and out, and I didn't have to go back and watch it again because I've already seen it so many times, and I love it, and mainly for Loki. Like I said, the villain makes the show, but without Loki, it's still an alright movie. I love it. I really do. I'd probably give it a 9. Yeah, I'll give it a 9, because I'm not gonna give it a full 10, but because I'm gonna give it a 9 because, like I said, it is a comic book film, and I do really like it, but I still think it could be better. I am really excited though, because I can't remember if it's this year or next year, but they're releasing Age of Ultron, which is the second Avengers movie, and I'm not really sure on what Ultron is. I know he's like a robot or something, and I think Tony Stark, Iron Man, built him. From what I can get from the trailer, you can look at the trailer. I believe the voice of Ultron is done by James Spader. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that it's James Spader, and I absolutely love James Spader. And it's kind of funny that my favorite character in the first Avengers is the bad guy, and then like one of my I was gonna say one of my top actors. I don't know. He's up there, but he's not like one of my top actors. But he's very good. It just was that he's gonna be the bad guy too, and I don't know if I'm gonna like the Ultron or not because I don't know who Ultron is, and I might look into it. I'm not sure if I want to, because the thing about, like I said, comic books, there's so many different ways that they can take it and change it. It might not even match up from the comic to what they're gonna do in the movie in the first place. But anyways, check out the Avengers. You don't have to see the other ones. If you want to see the first Thor before you watch the Avengers, you'll understand it better. But if you don't, you'll still get the gist of what's going on. It's not like, over your head at all. So, yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I'm super excited about the sequel coming out. And, that is pretty much all I've got to say about it for now, I think. Like I said, I'm definitely going to see the sequel, and I'll definitely do a review for that. And I will do a review for all the other stuff I've got to do soon. I will say, I have seen the a couple of the other things that I could probably do reviews for right now for, like, well, not right now, not in the same video, but for most of the other things that was requested, because I've seen a lot of Justified. I've only seen the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead. I've never seen Game of Thrones, and I've seen Shrooms. And I could probably do a review for that one, like, without going back and seeing it again. But I'm going to go ahead and watch it again anyways. But, so yeah. Avengers, 2012. A lot of really good names. I keep wanting to end this, but then something else pops in my head about it. And I will say, I was going on about the villains and stuff. I will say, if it weren't for Loki, if the villain, if it had been a different villain, if I didn't like the villain as much, I'll tell you my favorite would have been Iron Man. Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., and it's fantastic. He's another one. To me, Iron Man's not really a hero. I look at him more like an anti-hero, because he is a horrible alcoholic with a terrible personality, and he's dying. And you know, his story actually is probably one of the most depressing because the only thing that keeps him alive is this, like, I can't remember the name of the thing that it's made out of, but he's got this big hole in his chest and this big, like, glowing orb that he has to have to save him because it keeps the pieces of metal that are going towards his heart from going towards his heart. But it's also the same thing that's actually slowly killing him anyways. It's kind of messed up. To be honest, I'd probably be an alcoholic too. I mean, he's dying, so. But he's definitely my second favorite in the film. And, Marvel, he's probably my favorite Marvel, character. I enjoy Iron Man. So yeah, check it out. Really good. Even if you don't like comics, it's a good action movie. And I don't like action films. I don't know if I've said that before, but action films are not my thing. I would rather have a good solid plot than just a bunch of explosions to distract me from the holes in the film. So I think it does pretty good with that, except it never really explains what the Tesseract is. But maybe it'll do it in another film. I'm not sure. I, again, am not caught up with the comics. But anyways, check it out. 9 out of 10. Avengers. You can like my channel. You can subscribe. Or you can like my video. You can subscribe to my channel. You can leave a suggestion for me to look at something else. Like I said, I've got several I'm already working on. But, these videos don't take too long. The longest that I have to do is to watch what it is that I'm supposed to review, and I have no problem with taking time to do that because I love it. I love watching videos and movies and everything. So, suggest something for me, and I'll check it out, and I will review it very soon. And I hope you liked my video, and, well, I was going to say I'll see you soon, but, I guess I should say you'll see me soon if you like my video. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Goodbye.